This is Boston Chris with another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show.
Louise here.
Descript.
Featuring all genres and styles of entertainment.
And coming to the ETX ROCKS.
Let's hear it from Louise, please.
From the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond.
Out of the box, ETX ROCKS.
It's awesome.
We keep them coming.
$5, that's pocket change.
Well, hey, y'all, this is Haley McDaniel. Are y'all ready for this?
ETX ROCKS Show is the greatest show of all time, okay?
We are ETX ROCKS.
The ETX ROCKS Show is the best show of all time, say? The other shows, you're good, you're real good. As long as we're around, you'll be second best, say?
Cut.
Hey guys, this is Rich O'Toole, and thank you for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. And guys, we have a super treat for you guys. In the house with us today, first time on the ETX ROCKS Show, is official CMT artist and also a national touring artist, Miss Ashley Wineland. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's going to be a fun day today.
And I got to tell you guys out there, first of all, we're sitting here in Nacogdoches, Texas. I'm not going to try to think of the nickname again because I screwed it up on Facebook Live. But you guys, if you're in the Nacogdoches area, you got to check out LugNutz. It's right out there on Highway 59. They have live music every Friday and Saturday from national touring acts like Ashley, as well as local bands from Houston and all over East Texas every Friday and Saturday night. And I understand that they have ribeye Thursdays here too, and some of the best steaks in Texas. So if you're hearing about LugNutz for the first time, for sure you guys got to check out this venue right here in Nacogdoches. Larry Neighbors, thanks for helping us out with this interview. So Ashley, I understand you're going to start us off with a song. Are you going to do the new single first?
I am. I figured why not? It is the new single, so why don't we do
And
it
you're
first?
out on the She's Gone tour, so that must be the name of the song, right?
Yes, the name of our latest single off of our new album, Simple Life, is She's Gone.
And tell us a little bit about the song and how it came about. I understand it was written by a Texan.
Yes, so actually a really good friend of mine, Mickey Daniels, she does a lot of like Western swing, that
Right.
other side of country music that we don't have the pleasure of hearing as often. But when she put out her new project, that was one of the songs on it, and she came to Brian and I and was like, hey, would you like to do one of these songs? And She's Gone was the one that just instantly sparked my attention. And I'm somebody who writes all my own original music, but there's just something really special about this song that I was like, I really want to do something with it and put my own personal touch on it.
Right. And I mean, you've named this tour after it, and I know the song is gaining a lot of traction on Facebook and YouTube and all that. A lot of views going on with this song.
Yeah, we actually just hit the 250,000 milestone of views for the music video on Facebook. So
Wow.
It's just the fact that we released this song early March, that the fact that it just keeps growing and trekking on is just phenomenal.
Awesome. So you guys check it out. Here's She's Gone by the one and only Ashley Wineland.
She's leaving, lonesome, love's a lone star, legacy will be gone. Just a ranch-bred girl from the heart of Texas, tired of the lies she's been through. But sometimes
All right, you guys, that was Ashley Wineland with She's Gone. We'll be right back after these messages from our friends over at Mobile Audio and Video Production.
This is important, so grab a pen. We are Mobile Audio and Video Productions, serving East Texas and surrounding areas. We're running a special for electronic press kits, also known as promos or EPKs. For $496 with everything included, we will come to your location, film and record your band's live performance, interview band members, then create a professional package with graphics and effects delivered to you in the digital format of your choice, ready to be uploaded to your band's website, Facebook page, or YouTube channel. The packages we prepare can also be pretty valuable tools to send to venues, booking agents, or promoters, even record labels. You take your band seriously, make sure the world does too. Here's our number, 903-738-3881. Check out mobileaudiolabs.com. Find us on Facebook, Mobile Audio and Video Productions.
Hey guys, it's Katie Lynn, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
So we are back. Make sure you guys are checking out our sponsors, Mobile Audio and Video Production, on Facebook. You can also check them out at mobileaudiolabs.com. Some of the best in film and audio, and they go all over Texas. So if you need an EPK or something like that, definitely check them out. They're the reason for all of these cameras and lights and just making this sound and look good, which is hard when you look like me, if you know what I mean. But we have Ashley Wineland in the house. She is actually an Arizona native. She's from Glendale, Arizona. Happens to be in East Texas again. I wanted to say welcome back to East Texas.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a couple years since we've been back in Texas just in general. So it feels really good to finally be back.
I mean, you played the Rio Palm Isle. I mean, this is a historic venue.
Oh my goodness, that show was just, it was an experience. It was incredible. And then at the time was actually when the really bad El Nino storm hit, and, like, literally all of Texas. It just, like, it was a perpetual downpour for like a week.
I remember
that was when we played there, but still, like I said, the venue's just absolutely incredible.
That was kind of like a Keith Whitley tribute tour too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
In some way?
Yes.
See, I have a pretty good memory.
That was a really good memory.
Thank you. You know, been looking forward to talking to Ashley for a while. This has been in the works for a couple of months, so I've been pretty excited about it. And I know you're still a pretty young artist, 19 years old.
Yes.
Got your start about 6 years ago, and I wanted to talk about, before that, you were kind of a competitive figure skater as well, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of the funny thing is, you know, and when everybody asks me, you know, like, how long have you been singing and stuff, you know, obviously, oftentimes you come across people who are like, yes, since I was, like, born, I've known I've wanted to sing and stuff. And that wasn't the case with me. I just knew that I always had a love for performing and being in front of people. And that's still the case, regardless of what it is. You could put me in theater, dance, figure skating, for example, you know, and I would be happy just being in front of people doing something creative in nature. And so when I was younger, figure skating was that for me. But then, you know, obviously through experiences and, you know, just getting older and seeing more of the world, you know, I was introduced to music and songwriting and all of this fun stuff that we're doing right now. And that just kind of stuck with me throughout. And so I've been doing it ever since.
And how do you feel? I mean, in what ways do you think that competitive figure skating, kind of getting out in front of people, how has that prepared you for what you're doing now?
It was really good for me growing up because, especially in entertainment, you know, you learn to be judged, right? Yeah. Regardless of how well you think you did, you learn to be judged. And, you know, part of skating too, part of the judging components is just primarily based off of the judge's opinion. There's an artistic judging element to it. So, you know, learning how to, you know, be subjected to that and, you know, learning that you just have to do your best regardless and, you know, kind of keep pushing forward. And, you know, with skating too, I learned how to be coached and take direction really well and learn things very fast. And of course, like I said, be in front of people and be comfortable with it, doing something that isn't like extremely like just natural, like breathing.
Yeah, and the music business is a very critical and judgmental business anyway. So I mean, to be in a competitive nature, a competitive field rather, when you were so young, you were probably already made for this before that.
I've always been a really competitive person.
Right.
So I've always really liked competitive sports, or just competitive things in general. More so like just things I can do by myself. That's why figure skating and stuff and music's been so good, because like I did like basketball, for example, like my 7th grade year of middle school, and like I did well, but like it's just team sports was like not my cup of tea. I just like being responsible for myself and knowing like what I have to do and what, you know, everything that I plan out.
I know exactly
I do
what
in my
you mean.
day is
like,
what
I can't even get
ends
on a
up
plane
happening.
because somebody else is flying the plane. Like I can't give up that control. It's like, you know, hey, if this plane goes down and I die, it wasn't my fault, and that's going to be awful, you know?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily that extreme, but, you know, for the most part, I mean, obviously, at the same time, though, being in a band is also very much like being on a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you just have to, you know, learn how to work with other people, and I'm so blessed to have a very great band with me, and everyone's very talented, very dedicated to what we're doing, so, you know, it just makes it easier to get things done.
So, you know, I'm reading about you, and I read the figure skating thing, and then I'm like, okay, she's from Arizona. And I'll be honest, I didn't know they had ice in Arizona. So, I mean, how?
It melts easily, let me just tell you.
I can imagine. Like, somebody leaves the door open, and you're like in a, you know, a triple axel or something. You come down, you're actually diving.
Yeah. So sometimes if you fall, you'd actually just land in a puddle and you'd be sopping wet. It's not a big deal, but yeah, no, it's figure skating definitely helped, you know, shape me for what I'm doing today.
Right. And I mean, you mentioned that you weren't one of those artists that, you know, was singing from the womb, as a lot of people say, especially on this show. And we talk to a lot of musicians and artists, so there's a lot of them that say, yeah, I've been singing since 3 and, you know, all of that. But I understand that you really kind of catapulted into music because your dad gifted you studio time when you were 13.
Yeah, so around that age, you know, like really all I had been doing singing wise was just like family karaoke parties, and you know, I was in my school band, so I had, you know, a more formal music education to begin with, but yeah, no, it was just something I kind of like got interested in. I was like, oh, that might be cool. And so yeah, for my 13th birthday, my parents were just really awesome, and they were like, here, why don't we go into this like local studio and we'll record like 4 of your favorite cover songs, and you can just see like what it's like to work in the studio and kind of what it all entails. And it's kind of like a bug, it bites you, and then like you just don't ever leave, or at least that's what happened to me.
So I mean, as a 13-year-old walking into a professional studio, I mean, how daunting was that?
It's very overwhelming, especially when you like realize just how many components there are just to make one song, or just even to record a vocal track in general, not even talking about everything else that goes into it, the mixing, the mastering, and all that. So, you know, it was an overwhelming but like really cool feeling, and I'm somebody who always really loves to learn. You know, if there's something that I'm interested in that I don't know like much about, that's like a new challenge for me. So it was kind of like it opened up a big door to learn a lot of new things, to gain new experiences, and I mean, I'm still learning every single day.
So as someone who's like that, when you come home from that experience at the studio, I mean, are you like almost full speed ahead? Let's write, let's do all of this, because if, you know, I'm kind of the way you are. Like, once I learn something new, I want everything that there is to do with that subject or whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously, kind of one of those people, you know, I think we all go through it. The creativity, especially for songwriting, like it kind of goes in like highs and lows and stuff. So I typically try to like write as much as I can when I'm in those really high moments, and then like smooth them out as I feel that like creativity kind of like starting to wear a little thin. But I think also too, you know, just the part of being, you know, a professional songwriter and stuff is writing through those, you know, lulls and those blocks and trying to like make yourself come up with something new. Because sometimes, you know, some of the best things that I've come up with is when like we're literally just sitting there in a writing session, just staring at each other, just going, honestly, I have no idea what's going on here. And then, you know, after like 2 hours, I'll be like, wait, I just had something hit me just randomly. We'll have already started working on something else. And I'll be like, we need to go back because I just thought of something for this other song that we were working on. So, you know, that's kind of the thing with any creative subject and being in entertainment especially, is you just kind of have to like work with the moment and be able to really quickly change, because you never know when you're going to need.
And I think there's a pretty good example of that with you too, with your song Family Business. This is a song about the family business being moonshine and kind of running moonshine where you know, the cops is your kin too, and you're running from your kin. So, I mean, how did you come up with the concept for that?
It wasn't really that hard, actually. I grew up on stories of my great-grandpa and his brother. They're from Missouri. That part of my family is from Missouri. And yeah, their dad was the sheriff of the town and stuff, and, you know, to pick up extra money, it was after the World War II and stuff, so, you know, they decided, hey, let's just go run moonshine between here and Arkansas or whatever. And so, yeah, that was the story I grew up with when I was younger, and like I said, their dad was a sheriff, so anytime they were running from the cops, they were running away from dad and all of his friends. And when I was writing my first album, which I actually named it after Family Business, my favorite song off of that, you know, I was just like, well, duh, that's a country song right there. And it was so much fun, and it's a very swampy, very moody. I
really like it. It's almost like
tune.
It's almost got like a Native American beat to it too.
Yeah.
That I really dig. And I mean, it's different than a lot of the other stuff that you put out as well. I mean, even the new stuff with She's Gone and Simple Life and a lot of the other songs on the album, you can definitely tell you've grown. But at the same time, that swampiness from your first album is really, really cool too. So, I mean, I would love to hear from you. Like, who are some of your influence? Who's influencing your sound?
There's a lot of influences, and I think that's just the natural part of being somebody who's creative. I always pull from a bunch of different people. I primarily grew up on a lot of older country music, so, you know, like Hank and Dolly and Patsy Cline, like that was my thing growing up. Like, my grandpa would sit me on his lap and sing me the chorus of Tear in My Beer, like literally every day. So, you know, I was just surrounded by that style. So, you know, that's primarily where a lot of the storytelling aspects of my music come from. That's why I have such a deep appreciation for music that tells a story, is because obviously all that music that we now call traditional country music is very story heavy. Every single one of them tells a story.
Absolutely.
No matter how catchy they are.
Today too.
Yeah, but you know, that's what I enjoy about it. And then of course, you know, today, like, I really admire like the Carrie Underwoods, Martina McBrides. I love the 90s country era. Like,
you ever heard of Shelley Wright?
The name sounds so familiar.
See, you remind me of her a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to like Google her. I'm sure I'm familiar.
She had a song, actually reminds me a lot of She's Gone. It was called Shut Up and Drive. But yeah, Shelley Wright, check her out. Yeah. And I think you'll look her up and you'll be like, okay, I can see that. But yeah, your vocal abilities just reminds me a lot of her. I think you'll like her. If you like the 90s country thing. And I mean, what I really like about your sound too is, and you're talking about it being story heavy. All of your songs are story heavy, but they also kind of, you know, it's the story heavy of traditional country with a kind of a modern vibe. And so it's kind of like you're mixing the two. Is that something that you're really thinking about a lot when you're writing?
I mean, I'm not like extremely conscious about, you know, like, oh, here I want some of these like older sounds, but then like this is what I want to be like the more modern sounding. It's just my style of writing. You know, of course, if we're sitting, you know, after we've wrote the song and we're doing the more like nitpicky parts when it comes to recording, like fiddle parts and everything, yeah, well then I'll probably get into it and I'll be like, you know, I want this to sound more like, you know, something older, or, you know,
and so
more
you're
90s
involved
country.
in every aspect of that.
Yes, no, I'm very hands-on in every part of the making of my music, from the writing and just the birth of it to the recording sessions with all the musicians and to the mixing and mastering process of it. I think it's very important for any artist to have their hands in it, because that's your children basically. That's the pieces of you that you're putting out to the public. And if it's not exactly what you want, if there's something that you don't like about it, well then you need to change it.
Right. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're the one that has to perform it on tour.
Well, exactly. Once it's in that recorded form, it's out there forever. Once you put it out there, there's no changing it back.
Right. And one thing I really enjoyed, you talked about fiddle parts. I really enjoyed kind of the subtlety of the fiddle in She's Gone. It was kind of, I mean, you really have to pay attention to it to even know it's there. That's what I mean by that. And I mean, I really fiddle and pedal steel are my two favorite instruments. So tell me about the process of kind of putting in those auxiliary pieces into your music.
So obviously in music we call those kind of like the ear candy instruments, right? And so it's very much to where you have to be extremely conscious actually while you're writing the music. You know, if you want those ear candy pieces like a violin or a mandolin to have a more prominent part, or if you want them to be more kind of in the back seat. And so like She's Gone, for example, we knew in our heads we wanted that fiddle part to just really shine.
And you knew this when like early on?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we knew that we definitely wanted the fiddle to be a very strong part of that song, that it was just going to really bring that feel together from, you know, Mickey's version, which was very, you know, Patsy Cline nature, into what the sound I wanted to encompass. I wanted to keep that, you know, Western swing vibe to She's Gone, but then also bring in my touch to it, a little bit more modern of a vibe, and the more kind of fitting the powerhouse of vocals that I wanted to bring to the song. So yeah, I knew for sure that the fiddle was going to be a really crucial part in making all those elements just kind of fall together.
Right.
And that seems a lot for just one instrument to do.
But I think it's important, though.
It is extremely important.
I mean, it fills the holes, really.
Yeah, so, you know, right from the get-go, the beginning of She's Gone starts off with that fiddle lick, and then, you know, it does the really pretty legato pulls throughout the song.
I love towards, like, right at the end of the chorus where you can just kind of hear it, like, kind of almost fading out into nothing. That's what I meant by subtle. Like, just little things like that make the difference between a good song
and it's just like
song.
in the background, and like you said, if you listen really closely, it just has that very almost kind of like whiny kind of sound to it that just really like encompasses that like really sorrowful kind of
adds the
tone
emotion
to the song.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool, and I love that you're thinking about that really early. I mean, that's awesome, especially for a 19-year-old. I mean, you get your hands all over this, and I mean, that's why you end up with a song that's got 250,000 views on Facebook. I mean, that's why, because of the attention to detail. So, I mean, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So, one thing I've got to know from you is, I mean, it's almost everything I see, your poster, I mean, it's even up here, official CMT artist. So what I got to know is tell us what that means. What does it mean to be a CMT artist?
So what it means to be a CMT artist, it means that you have met all of the billions of requirements. It's kind of a weird process, and they're constantly changing it, but there's a set of requirements necessary for an artist to apply to be a CMT certified artist. And so basically once you've gone through all of that, your music videos, once they're approved by a panel, they have to be a certain quality. They get approved by the panel on CMT, and then they put them up on the website, and then you actually have the ability to get them placed on television. And so we were really lucky that our first music video, No Prince Charming, not only made it onto CMT and just the website, but it actually made it onto television as well. And that was just due to, you know, the great response from fans and the sharing and the downloads of the songs. You know, everything helps. And if people don't really realize, it's just the little things like that that really help. Someone like myself, who's an independent artist, really help like get that jump start and next step into their career. And so, you know, She's Gone is on CMT now.
Right, and that's why I wanted to ask you that, because I mean, a lot of artists really focus on, you know, performing and tour and all that, and also the audio with CDs. But yeah, I mean, you've got that third wrinkle in there with video, and I think a lot of artists kind of miss the boat on that. I mean, a lot of artists shoot video and they'll do, you know, whatever they can do, but I think it's really important to have that high quality. And I wanted to hear it from your words, what it meant to be an official CMT artist.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's actually just, it's extremely important to have really good quality music videos, because obviously we're a very visual society, especially with social media these days. You know, every time you scroll through your Facebook feed, you're seeing pictures, you're seeing videos of all different sorts. And so high quality music videos, you know, are what's going to make yours stand out from the rest.
Right.
You know, anybody can make a music video, but it takes, you know, detail and precision and care and really just smart choices to make the right music video. And that helps you as an artist, from an artist, you know, standpoint, with your press, with, you know,
Everything else just kind of flows downhill for you.
For your fans, you know, after they see that, it's another way for them to connect with you.
Right.
Obviously, you know, when we look at something and we hear it, it's just more, you know, into our brains. We want to know more about it. And so having good videos is what's going to keep, you know, people coming back. And that's why you see so many higher level artists, like they're constantly releasing new music videos with all the singles that they're doing right away, because it helps that song just stick.
And a lot of artists even releasing videos for songs they never even plan on releasing as a single, just because the visual nature of things is so important now with kind of that instant gratification society that we live in. You know, you might have an album with 10 songs on it, and a lot of these artists might put out 7 videos from those songs now. But it's always keeping that buzz going, because as soon as you kind of step away from that, you can kind of create a vacuum. If you don't fill that vacuum with another video or another song and just keep it rolling, you can really miss the boat. I guess my next question for you is, you know, you started with as a 13-year-old, first time in the studio, never performed in front of people really before, other than on the ice, of course. So, I mean, the first time you really stepped out in front of people, you already had recorded stuff. So how did you go from, you know, just, you know, singing in a studio to singing in front of people?
It was a process. You know, the very first time I had performed with a band of my own in front of a crowd was actually when we did the CD release party for Family Business. Right. And so, like, literally we spent months upon months preparing just for this one show. But it was so critical that everything went extremely well for this show, you know, to set up for the rest of my career, really.
Right. How old were you at this time?
I was 14. I was going on 15. I was almost 15.
Wow.
Because we released Family Business March 1st of 2013. Yeah.
Okay.
About 2013, 2012. And then, you know, obviously from there I've been doing music ever since, but that was like the pinnacle moment. We spent months and, you know, obviously not just rehearsing with the band, but I took stage performance lessons and really, you know, had to, my biggest thing, and this actually took quite a few shows to develop, was learning how to really talk on stage. Because I'm
so
somebody
yeah.
who, you know, obviously, you know, when you're on stage, your adrenaline's pumping anyway, but I'm somebody who's very passionate about what I do, gets very excited. And so when I was young, you know, doing all these first shows, my voice was like all the way up here and I was talking this fast and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. And it was great. And and everyone was like, hey, Ashley, you need to learn how to like lower it down a few octaves and talk really slow and clear so people can understand what you're saying. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, where I am now, like, I didn't just automatically start with this level of skill. It's years of practice and just going out and doing it. And I think that's the most important thing, especially for musicians and just performing. You know, you can practice, you know, all you want. You can do videos and stuff, but until you're actually in front of somebody or just people in general who don't know you,
right.
They have no bias. They're just purely, you know, getting a sense for you based off of what they're saying and what they're hearing. You know, that's when you really develop your skills. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, over the years, that's where I've learned the most, is just being up on a stage and, you know, talking to people and, you know, just trying out different things and seeing, like, what do people respond to? What do they not respond to?
Someone once told me that the best time to learn how good you are at communicating is when nobody is listening.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, especially, you know, when we were just starting, we've had to play shows, and it's, especially when no one knows who you are, right? Yeah. It's, you know,
I mean,
nobody
first time
really,
in Nacogdoches, you're going to deal with that tonight.
Yeah, people are just going to be like, oh, well, who's that?
Right,
and just, like, maybe they'll try to ignore you. But it's my job to just be like, hello, please pay attention to me. I'm right here. I'm going to entertain you whether you like it or not.
Right.
Kind of manner. But, I mean, that's just kind of the attitude you have to have. And, you know, that's the beauty of entertainment, is you can't get butthurt if, you know, if somebody's not paying attention to you. Right. Either they're not going to like it or you're going to make them like it and pay attention to you.
That's
so
funny.
It's just one of those things where...
So here's a good question for you, you know. Been doing about 6 years now. I know you've grown, you've evolved over that period of time. In what ways most important to you do you feel that you've evolved the most?
Oh, goodness. obviously, as we were just talking about, you know, my sense of stage presence and just who I am when I'm up working.
That identity.
That identity, yeah, is just so crucial to everything that I do. And obviously, you know, I don't want it to seem like I'm putting on some sort of persona, right? Because I never am. I'm always genuine in everything that I do. It's just, you know, everybody's always surprised, especially like when I went in school and stuff, like people who knew me in that setting. You know, I'm somebody who typically is actually a little bit more introverted. Like I keep to myself, like I just do my work. I don't really talk too much, and then I go home and then I become this, and then I'm on stage and I'm, you know, Miss Extrovert, and everything's wonderful, and I'm like this powerhouse and
it's
stuff.
like flipping a switch, right?
Yeah, I call it like my Cinderella, Hannah Montana syndrome kind of thing, but every part of that is still me.
Right.
And I think that's so important.
It's just one is you turned up a little bit.
Yes, and one is just me doing what I love to do, and it obviously really comes across, and anybody who comes out to our live shows will obviously see that, you know, but it's always been important to me, no matter what platform I'm on, whether you see me out. Whether you see me out in just a regular public setting, whether you see me on a Facebook Live, whether you see me at a live show, it is the same person regardless.
Right.
You know, and
that
I think that's
consistency is really important.
And I always think that's so important. That's why I take such pride in, you know, running my own social media, always being in contact with all my fans, and just really making that personal connection with everybody that I come across.
Right.
Because I think it's like the worst thing ever when people are like, you know, they think because you are in entertainment that you're like some level of like superhuman. You come from Mars, and like you're not the same as everybody else. And that's like the last thing that I want. So that's always something that's really important to me.
Well, two things I really want to talk about that I really respect about you a lot is, number one, we'll go over this first, is the way you kind of give your time and your talent to some of the causes that you care a lot about. Now, one of your first songs was a song called Red, White, and Blue, and you donated all the proceeds to this song to veterans organizations. So I understand that veterans help and things like that is really important to you. And also, what do you call it? Like pets and stuff
animal
like
welfare.
that. Yeah, animal welfare. So tell us why you do those things, kind of paying it forward.
Well, obviously, you know, as we're talking about the multiple sides of myself, you know, and nobody's just like a one-sided coin. You know, we all have multiple dimensions, and something that's I've always been really passionate about is obviously one, our veterans. I come from a really extensive, you know, family line of people who have served in the military. I currently have cousins and, you know, friends and everybody who are currently serving. You know, I actually had a great-grandfather who was a prisoner of war in World War II, so it's just the history is there, and it's something when you're around people who have sacrificed so much for our country, and you see like what just that effect it has on them, and you see other people who have gone through the same situation and they're struggling really hard, for you to just enjoy your day-to-day life here in the United States and, you know, actually all over the world. It's just one of those things, like, it breaks my heart that they just even end up in situations like that, that they're not being taken care of. So that's something that was always really important to me. And I think the beautiful thing about music is that, and something that I've always really appreciated, is that it opens up so many doorways for you to do so many things. You know, I'm primarily a singer, a songwriter, and a performer, but at the same time, you know, here I am, I'm being introduced to hundreds and thousands of people, you know, even on a weekly basis. You know, I do have a voice to speak up for things that, you know, really matter to me, and I think that should be brought to attention, and whether that's veterans or animal welfare, which I think is something also really important. You know, before I thought, you know, oh, music was what I was going to do as my career, I actually wanted to be a veterinarian. I have a deep love for animals, whether, you know, they're pets or, you know, they're out in the wild. And I think it's so important to take care of, you know, both, as they're so crucial to our, you know, society and our ecosystems. But, you know, as a musician, I have a voice. I have the ability to do something.
You have
everybody,
that platform to kind of stand on, you know, and let people know.
And everybody has the ability to do that. And I encourage, if you have something that you're passionate about, that you think people should know more about, that you're informed on, like, go, speak out for it. Because, you know, nobody's going to know about it unless you do something. And I think that's the beautiful thing is, it's incredible how much one person can do.
Right.
And so like through Red, White, and Blue, we've been able to donate, hundreds of dollars to multiple charities, like Pets for Patriots, who teams up adult shelter animals with veterans and their families, and they cover vet bills and adoption costs and pet food and toys and all that incredible stuff to help out both parties. We've also done work with a really incredible charity called Stop Soldier Suicide and Guitars for Vets. We actually just did an event with them and went to one of their graduations. They provide music therapy to veterans with PTSD, and they actually provide them with guitars at the end of their graduation and all the music equipment that they need to continue pursuing music. So, there's so many incredible organizations out there, but who's going to know about them unless there's somebody who's telling other people? And that's the great thing about charity, is that you just give back and then you tell other people about what you're doing, and they can be inspired to give back as well, maybe not to the same groups but to other groups that they're passionate about.
It's all about being that one voice that kind of starts the storm of voices that's needed to keep these charities afloat, and really kind of identifying the ones that are truly a charity. They're truly trying to help out. Veteran suicide is a very big one for me as well. My dad was a 20-year vet in the Army, so anything veteran related is very important and near and dear to my heart. So I wanted to talk to you about that. I know it's important to you, it's important to me, and I wanted folks to know that out there. And the last thing I really want to talk about, and I think is really cool with the Ashley Wineland dynamic that you have going on, is this Facebook Live thing that you do. I mean, you've structured it in such a way that you're pretty consistent with going live on Facebook, and a lot of artists out there really need to jump on this because it's a valid tool that you can use to connect with your fans, whether you have 4 fans or 400,000 fans. It's a way for you to connect, and Ashley's got this down. So what I want to know is, why do you do that, and why is it so important for you to stay connectable to your fans?
Well, I was really excited actually now it's on multiple platforms, but it started on Facebook. And when I became a verified page on Facebook, that was like the special thing. Like nobody else had it except for verified pages, and when you got the Facebook Mentions app, it was like the coolest thing ever. You could go live and broadcast to all of your fans and talk to them directly and sing for them, and it was really cool because when I was starting Facebook Live, I wasn't really out doing tours like this.
Right.
I was primarily still playing locally in Arizona, but I had fans all over the country who were like, we would like to see you play and stuff like that. Like, we love your recorded music, but we want to hear what you sound like live and, get to know you more.
Right.
And so that's where Facebook Live came into play. And so through that, I've been able to play music, my own original music, just acoustic, or, sometimes we had the pleasure of being able to film a live show for people. And then, it gets broadcasted to not just all over the country, all over the world. I have fans who are in the UK who watch consistently. I have fans who are down in Mexico and South America. So, it's just a broad spectrum, and it really helps me to connect with them more too. Because like you said, I do this on a consistent basis. Typically every Friday evening, I get on and, I play music, or I just sit and talk with everybody. And it gives me the chance to really know the fans who really care about what we're doing.
Watching these videos, you know a lot of these folks by name and by face. I thought it was cool. I've watched quite a few of these videos since we found out, we were going to be chatting, because I always want to know who I'm going to be talking to and how their style is of talking. It's just helpful. But just to hear you and listen to you play your music and connecting with the fans, man, I was just, every time I was watching, I was like, this is a girl that gets it right here.
Yeah, no, it's great. And there's so many incredible people in the world. And that's, everybody rags on the internet as being such a hateful place, but really, it's all about the community you create. And so I'm so blessed that all the fans on my pages, on all my social media platforms, are just so positive and so happy, and they really support one another. So when I'm on there, it's great, because every time somebody watches and stuff, I can look at their profile picture or look at their name, depending on how long they've been tuning in and stuff. And, you just get to know people. I feel like I know so many people without ever met them in person. I can go, Rocky, for example, I talk to Rocky like almost every day, you know, and Cassandra, like she kept me updated on her pregnancy like throughout the whole thing.
It's cool.
And it's, you know, it's great because you get to meet so many incredible people, and, you know, I'm so blessed that so many people, you know, trust in me enough and believe in me enough to share a lot of the personal details of their lives and the things that they're going through with me. And it's just a real inspiration for me. It's a big honor for me to be in that place in my life where I can be that source of, you know, comfort and joy for people. And really, like,
and
at the end of the day,
too, really.
that's what matters, and that's what's important. You know, the music's fun and everything, but if it isn't, you know, touching people and making them feel things and, you know, helping them to relate that they're not alone in this, you know, giant universe, then, you know, what's the point?
Exactly. Very cool. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, you get it, and that's why your social media has grown the way it has, because you're connectable in that way. And I think you know that. You're a smart girl. You already know that. You do, don't you?
Thank you.
All right, so we have this thing on this show. I didn't tell you about this. I didn't tell his people about this. But we play a game on this show called Would You Rather. And we're going to play Would You Rather with Ashley Wineland.
Oh, this should be interesting.
All right, so this is if you guys have watched before, you know what I'm fitting to do to her. But I'm going to tell Ashley. What we do is we have an app on my phone that's called Would You Rather. And I'm just going to give you the first 10 that pop up on the app.
Okay.
Completely random. I did not plan this. So you have to pick one or the other. You cannot pick both, and you can't say neither.
Okay.
Are you ready to play
We're
Would
going to
You
learn a
Rather?
lot about Ashley today.
Yes. All right. So the first one, here's Would You Rather with Ashley Wineland. Would you rather always have wet socks or always shower with your clothes on?
I think I would just always like shower with my clothes on.
Okay. Would you rather be colorblind or lose your sense of smell?
Colorblind.
All right. Number 3. Would you rather have someone annoying you all the time or have someone stalking you all the time?
That's a horrible one. Where do you win in that situation? I don't.
Annoying or stalking? You have to pick one.
I feel like annoying, because like a stalker knows literally everything
But
that
see,
you're
the
doing.
thing is though, like a stalker is against the law, so you could call the cops. Whereas being
could.
annoying is not
I didn't
against
know
the
if
law.
that's an option. That's like when we're playing
Well, you gotta
such a
think
very
deeper, though,
generic
right?
game. Yeah. Like, so stalker sounds more appealing than just an annoying
'Cause then
person.
you just 911.
You could always like lock the annoying person in a closet,
Well,
though.
that
Just
is true.
run
That
away.
is true.
There's so
But,
many
I mean,
options.
you can bang on the door and he's still annoying.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, would you rather, oh my gosh, would you rather have a lisp or a lazy eye?
Ooh. For the sake of my singing, a lazy eye. Like, at least you could wear sunglasses and like
That's
cover
true.
that.
You could Hank Williams Jr. it. All right, number 5, would you rather be, oh, we already asked a colorblind one. Would you rather drive any car you want or be driven everywhere in any car you want for the rest of your life?
I'd rather be like driven everywhere.
Okay. Number 6, would you rather be better looking in person or better looking in photos?
I'd rather be better looking in person.
Okay.
Because then, like, you exceed people's expectations when they meet you in person.
That is true. Very smart. All right, number 7, would you rather get locked inside a candy shop or get locked inside a theme park?
I feel like a candy shop, because, like, if it took somebody a while to, like, come find me,
Yeah.
like, at least I'd have something to survive on. I feel like a theme park isn't a good idea, because if you try to go on a ride while it's not being monitored by somebody, you're just, you're asking
Plus,
for, like,
I
some
would
Zombieland
be
stuff.
like, okay, how do I operate this ride?
Yeah.
You know, candy. I know how to operate candy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you can't go wrong with that.
All right, number 8, would you rather be feared or be loved?
Wow, well, that's an intense question.
Right.
Would you rather be the villain or the hero?
Right.
I feel like, well, I mean, like, I guess you'd want to be loved. Feared is like just that domineering.
I agree. All right, number 9, would you rather reach your ideal salary or reach your ideal weight?
Salary, for sure. You can always lose weight.
Last one, would you rather have 10 brothers or 10 sisters?
I'd want like 10 brothers. Have you ever seen like even just like 2 girls try to get ready in the
Right.
same space?
You'd
It's
need, like,
really
40
awful.
bathrooms if
At
you had
least
10
like with
sisters.
the like guys, you could like attempt to lock them out so they like don't like pester you.
Yeah, see, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, no,
That was Would You Rather
great.
with Ashley Wineland. All right, so Ashley, I understand you're going to do us another song, and you know, we've been talking back and forth with your publicist and your manager and stuff, and you know, we've done 160 of these episodes for our show, and we always get really excited when an artist is bringing out new music on our show. So I understand you're actually going to do a new song for us today.
Yes, and I figured out of all the new songs off the new album, doesn't it just make total sense to do the title song of the new album, Simple Life?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is Simple Life. Of course, we'll find out in a minute where you can get this amazing CD. But check it out. This is Simple Life by Ashley Wineland. All right, guys, so we are back. That was Simple Life by Ashley Wineland, a brand new song, and also the title of your brand new CD.
Yes.
Is this already out?
Yeah, so we actually have already begun selling Simple Life CDs. The thing about Simple Life, though, is that it's not available for download on iTunes or any, digital retailer out there. You can only pick up hard copies whether you come out and see us at a live show, or if you join my fan club. When you join, I also send you an email about how you can pick up your copy of Simple Life, and then we mail it out to you.
Okay, and I know you have a .com as well. It's ashleywineland.com.
Yes.
Is that where folks go to get onto your
yes,
fan club?
When they go to my website, there's like a little drop-down tab, and it'll say fan club, and you just click on it, and it asks for your name, your email, and just where you live, so we know where to send everything
right,
to.
and people can find your social media and your tour information and contact and all that right there on the .com?
Yep, right there. Once you log onto the website, up in the little corner, there's all the social media link buttons, so every time you click on them, you can go there and you can check it all out.
Very cool. And is that where folks can go to book you for a show as well?
Yes, there's a contact section on my website, so whether anything for PR or for booking, if you go there, or actually even management, if you go onto that contact page, all my lovely team's information is there for you guys.
And they're
to get a hold
incredible,
of them
by the way. Really cool team. They were really open to us, and You know, we've known about Ashley for a while. Darren Morris opened for you, and he's a good friend of ours. So we've known, and you know, I've been following you on Facebook. I've been one of those fans on Facebook. So I was super excited when Ashley was coming to East Texas, and just really happy this worked out. So guys, I want to thank everybody out there for watching and tuning in to another great episode of the ETX Rock Show. If you're watching for the first time, make sure you're following along with us as well at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at ETX Rocks. If you're listening on iTunes, please hit the rate and review button. That'll really help us a lot. Of course, we are available completely free, 160 plus episodes. So if you like this one, check out some of the other ones we have as well. Follow along, subscribe, everything is free. As we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for supporting live music. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Aaron Watson, ETX Rocks.
ETX Rocks, Alan Fox Band.
Hey guys, we're the Morning Madhouse. I'm Carter.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Ginger.
It's the best podcast ever made in all of history.
Hi, this is Paul Bebo, and I ETX Rocks with Boston Chris Barnes. You're gonna love it.
ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, DP here. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Enduring House, a Christian rock band.
ETX Rocks!
Hey, this is Monty Pittman. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, Jaden Farnsworth. ETX Rocks.
Hey, everybody. I'm David McCarty with the Gypsy Creek Band. As always, ETX Rocks.
Hey guys, this is Chris Colston. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
To the ETX ROCKS Show.
The ETX ROCKS Show.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I just want to make sure you support local music.
Hi, East Texas, this is Chris Wayne.
And Crystal Clark with KYKX 1057. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Lady Chaz and the Tramps. And just remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Todd Freeman of ETX Rocks with Boston Chris.
Hey, East Texas, I'm Waylon Hicks. And remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the one and only SP and Mexicano con Estilo. Make sure to support your local music, and ETX Rocks.
Hello, we're one way home.
Hey, East Texas, this is Teaser.
Please continue to support local music.
And always remember, ETX Rocks!
Howdy, folks. This is Aaron Watson. Support local music, and ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Chris Colston. Make sure you support local music
And ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Hannah Kirby. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy, ho!
Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between, we are ETX Rocks!
Hit the brakes! Cut!
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Aaron Watson, ETX Rocks.
ETX Rocks, Alan Fox Band.
Hey guys, we're the Morning Madhouse. I'm Carter.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Ginger.
It's the best podcast ever made in all of history.
Hi, this is Paul Bebo, and I ETX Rocks with Boston Chris Barnes. You're gonna love it.
ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, DP here. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Enduring House, a Christian rock band.
ETX Rocks!
Hey, this is Monty Pittman. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, Jaden Farnsworth. ETX Rocks.
Hey, everybody. I'm David McCarty with the Gypsy Creek Band. As always, ETX Rocks.
Hey guys, this is Chris Colston. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
To the ETX ROCKS Show.
The ETX ROCKS Show.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I just want to make sure you support local music.
Hi, East Texas, this is Chris Wayne.
And Crystal Clark with KYKX 1057. ETX Rocks.
Hey, East Texas, we're Lady Chaz and the Tramps. And just remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, this is Todd Freeman of ETX Rocks with Boston Chris.
Hey, East Texas, I'm Waylon Hicks. And remember, ETX Rocks.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the one and only SP and Mexicano con Estilo. Make sure to support your local music, and ETX rocks.
Hello, we're one way home.
Hey, East Texas, this is Teaser.
Please continue to support local music.
And always remember, ETX rocks!
Howdy folks, this is Aaron Watson. Support local music and ETX rocks.
Hey, this is Chris Colston. Make sure you support local music
and ETX rocks.
Hey, this is Hannah Kirby. Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy, ho!
Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between. We are ETX Rocks!
Hit the brakes! Cut. Check.